Let's go.
Okay. Right, well, thanks very much, everybody. Lovely to see everybody. I think we are ready to begin the actual awards presentation. And Jerry has some envelopes for us, and I have awards behind me. Jerry, are you there?
Yes, there he is.
Yeah. So should you're ready for me to start?
Yes, I think we are.
Okay. Well, as you all know, the FAAn Awards have been given out for X number of years. People vote on them, listing as many as they like, up to 5 nominees. Although in one of these award categories there, you will hear 6 nominees because somebody tied. I believe there were 49 votes this year, voters. Then that was a pretty good turnout. Just that Nick Fari was the counter of the votes, and his setup was that the person or zine or whatever that you listed first on your ballot would get an extra point. All the others would get 1 point. And this would make, I think, a better representation of who was popular. So let's start. First, we're going to do the Harry Warner Jr. Memorial Award for Best Letter Hack. And our 5 nominees this year, these are just listed in alphabetical order. These are the top vote getters. And we started Claire Briley, Steve Jeffrey, some guy named Kaufman, Mark Plummer, and Paul Skelton. And the drum roll, please.
Bumpita, bumpita, bumpita.
Our best letter hack this year, for last year, is Mark Plummer. Mark Plummer.
Hurrah!
And
Well
there's
done,
his
Mark.
award.
To bring the screen to me, I've got to talk as well as show the award. So the award should be coming up on screen in a minute, as long as the screen shifts to me as speaker.
Screen share.
I could do screen share, couldn't I? Yes.
Yes, it's shiny.
Yes, it's shiny. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, we did.
Right, here we are.
Okay.
Can you see
Next.
the?
Sorry.
Can you see the writing on it?
Yes.
I've got a black.
There we go.
Right, excellent. That's the first of the awards. So what I'd like to know for everybody who receives an award, all the winners, is do you want your awards posted or do you want them handed over to you at Bristol next November? Mark, congratulations.
Thank you. Bristol is fine.
Bristol is fine, right.
Save some postage.
Pardon me for a moment. I realized that I didn't have them in the order that I told Rob I would have them in.
It doesn't matter.
So bad me, as often is the case. Okay, next one we're going to do is the best website. Websites of fanzines, websites for fanzine support, whatever the website is doing. And we're going to start with Ansible, eFanzines, fanapp.org, file770.com, and Octothorpe, which is actually a podcast. But I guess this is the closest we can get to fitting in a podcast. So let us see who gets this honor. And our top vote getter for best website, fanapp.org.
Yay!
Hey,
Well deserved. I use it every day.
Me too.
Quickly.
I use it frequently. I check Fancyclopedia, I look at the fanzines, and sometimes other things. I've even looked at the photos. Wow. Okay. Now, whoop.
Here's the award again.
Oh,
What's going on?
Can you see it?
Nope.
it
Never
just says
mind.
No, no, and we don't have to see it every time, Rob. We've seen one.
Okay,
They're all the same.
You've seen one, you've seen them all.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. So
In
our
your Zoom screen.
yeah. There we
What
go.
the hell's going on? Oh,
We're
right.
all back again. Good to see you all. Okay. Best fanzine cover. Basically an award for the artist and for the publisher of the fanzine because they designed presumably some aspect of the cover. And our top
Oh.
5
They had the good taste to ask for it.
did that too. Okay, so the cover for Beam 15, artwork by Sarah Felix. Cover for Inca 17, cover art by Venetia Jackson. Outworlds 71, artwork by Dittmar, who I believe his actual name is his normal
Mark
name
Jensen.
is Jensen.
Mark Jensen.
Dick Jetson, yeah.
Jensen. Okay. Portable Storage 4, art by Brad W. Foster, and Raucous Caucus number 7, the art by Jay Kinney.
Ah.
Wow. Okay, the tool is not working. There we go. Beam number 15, Sarah Felix.
Yay.
Publicated by
Complicated?
Nick Furry and Ulrika O'Brien.
Gorgeous
Good
cover.
publicating. Good publicating.
Quick
It was on
interruption.
my ballot.
Yes,
Quick
Jerry.
interruption. Could someone who is hosting this make me a co-host so I could try to help Sandra get back in properly?
Oh,
Or
is
can
she having
someone
a
else
problem?
do that? She shows here, but she asked for somebody to let her reconnect and that she's not in properly.
Right,
Okay,
I'll see how I do that.
So go on the participant list, click on that.
Yeah,
And when you see Jerry's name, the 3 little dots on the side, click on those 3 little dots next to
Yes.
Jerry's name on the right. One option should be make Jerry a co-host.
it says more.
Right,
and
that's
actually-
what,
Make co-host.
actually, hold
Okay,
on.
You are now a co-host.
Sorry. Okay, quick interruption. I'm not sure that that's going to work for me being able to let her in. I
It
think
should.
that has to be who's ever hosting. So
I'm really
Rob,
glad this is being recorded for posterity.
yeah,
Totally,
Jerry-
totally.
Jerry, it should work. We do it all the time on the FAAn Zooms.
Okay.
well, Rob, of course, will edit it. Won't you, Rob?
Okay, well, I've got the options for Sandra, which are chat, ask to start video, pin, make host, make co-host, rename, allow to multi-pin, put in waiting room, remove or report.
Quick thing. Edie is
That's
right.
all.
Unlike my earlier stuff, I was just able to let 2 people in from the waiting room.
Right.
Well, thank you. So
Okay.
welcome newcomers.
Sandra, you're back.
You just to recap for the newcomers, best letter hack, Mark the Plumber, best website, fanac.org, and best fanzine cover, the cover of Beam 15 by Sarah Felix. Okay, our next award will be for the best fan artist. In this category, we have 6 names. I don't know who tied. I understand that after this is all over, Nick Furry is going to publish an updated, the incomplete register, which will have voting details. Not who voted for what, but how many votes each nominee got. So our top 6 for best fan artist: Dittmar, Brad W. Foster, Ulrika O'Brien, Allison Scott, Steve Stiles, and Alan White.
Hmm.
And our top fan artist, Ulrika O'Brien.
Yay.
Golly, thank you.
Sprach.
Some of Monica's artwork will be featured in the next issue of Little Brook when she does it.
Out real soon now, right, Jerry?
Yes. And that'll be in lowercase, not uppercase, real soon now. Okay, moving on to the next award. We're going to do Best Fan Writer. Our top 5, Claire Briley, Nick Farry, Bruce Gillespie, Andrew Hooper, and Mark Plummer. Ooh, Claire Briley. Claire, you're our best writer.
Crikey.
20.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay. Ooh, special publication. And what was it? Yeah, best special publication and or one shot. Our top 5, Homefront, edited by Rob Hansen. Outworld 71, Afterworlds. It says Bowman, Code, Rosenthal, Verzi, not to mention Bill Bowers. Random Jottings, issue number 19/20, Michael Dobson. Slow Pint Glass, Rob Jackson and Dave Langford, editors, and Bob Shaw, writer. Half Forensic Report, Gene Gamal. And
all great things.
Yes.
Very, very high quality list, that.
Yes. And our best special publication for 2020, Outworld 71, Afterworlds.
Yay.
Again, that's Gene Bowman, Rich Code, Alan Rosenthal, and Pat Verzi. Based
And Chris
on work
Garcia,
originally
right?
done by Bill Bowers. Sorry?
Chris Garcia and James Bacon, right?
Yes.
No. That's all.
Not this one.
I don't know whether to send their award to California or Texas.
You know,
Oh.
do the Solomonic
Well,
thing and
so-
split it in 2, or else they can have an arrangement where they mail it around to each other like every half year. We'll leave that up to them.
Oh, no.
We're hoping to be in
One,
Bristol.
Oh, right.
Okay. Okay, now we're going to go to Best Personal Zine, or Perzine for short. Our top 5, Captain Flashback from Andrew Hooper. Flag from Andrew Hooper. Lost Ornas from Andrew Hooper. No, I'm sorry. Fred Lerner. I was getting into a rut. The White Notebooks from Pete Young.
Yay.
And this
Wow.
here from Nick Farry.
Yay.
Best Perzine, this here.
Nice.
Yay. He couldn't be with us today because he's at work. But somebody be sure to tell him.
Yes, I've been instructed to accept on his behalf and to read these words absolutely verbatim, making this the only time in long vanished memory that Dr. Jackson will say "fuck" in public. Well, swiftly by the second and third times Dr. Jackson will say "fuck" in public. Fuck. After the fan award, Nick would like to thank the voters, many of whom were quite possibly also some of the many this year Lockhole contributors who may wish to bask in some tiny measure of reflected glory, except for those whose names you will have heard several times already and will undoubtedly hear again. Nick would also like to quote in full the legendary Liverpool manager Bill Shankly's acceptance of the BBC's Football Manager of the Year award. It consists of 4 words: "Thanks, I deserve it."
Oh,
Well, he gave himself the award, so I suppose that's only appropriate.
Yes.
I believe that he counted every vote.
The
I
vote-
call on the Corflu committee to never, ever let the sitting fan award counter be someone who is publishing a major fanzine again.
Okay. Fortunately, that's not me.
Right.
I
Okay.
just feel, that I having given myself awards in the past, I feel it is a bad idea.
Yeah.
Well-
It's got to be thought of carefully.
This is
We
one
will
for
just-
next year.
Okay. Next, we have the Genzine category, the general interest or possibly general circulation, depending on which definition you accept. And our top 5, Banana Wings from Claire Briley and Mark Plummer, Beam from Nick Farry and Ulrika O'Brien, Inca, Rob Jackson, Portable Storage, William Briding, and SF Commentary, Bruce Gillespie. Okay. Portable Storage,
Yes.
Bill Briding,
Yeah.
William
Very good.
Briding.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done.
Hey, those are remarkable. Now, Nick went through and added up all the votes that mentioned every person, and he's developed a way to do the #1 fan face. Now, he said to note that although a person listed in the first line of the ballot would get an extra point for just because, a bonus point, he did not count the bonus points when compiling this number. Our top 5 vote getters overall: Claire Briley, Nick Farry, Dave Langford, Ulrika O'Brien, and Mark Plummer. It's amazing that Dave's on there since he was only sorry, wasn't in the top 5 for anything except, I think, Ansible. However, let's see what the magic card says. Not a surprise, Claire, you're it.
Just call me Fanny McFanface.
Yes, and we're about to have, in Seattle, we're about to have another naming contest of our own where we get to name a new boring machine for that's going to be digging
Right.
a tunnel for a sewer line, I think. And already there's, I believe that Boring McBoring Face may be the top name.
Claire's suggestions have been unfortunate given British slang, but still.
Yeah.
Oh, quite deliberate, I assure you.
Oh, all right.
David
I
also
would-
one for the special publication, of course, for Pint Glass.
But I would just like to say that I'm pretty certain none of us got involved in fanzine fandom to, take home glittering shiny prizes.
Oh,
But
bullshit.
I reckon most of us got into it so that we could make connections with other people who, have something in common with us and share some of our opinions and who we wanted to have a conversation with. And certainly over this past year in particular, I've appreciated that all the more. So yeah, sure. Thanks to anyone who liked anything I did and who voted for me, but thanks to anyone who voted and shared their appreciation for everything that's going on in fanzines. But thanks very much to all of you who've been participating in fanzines generally, because it certainly helped make my year a bit better. And thanks very much to Nick and Rob and Jerry for making this happen tonight.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You are welcome. And
Very
so
well
are-
done,
and so
getting
s-
49 ballots.
Mm.
a
I
better,
think
it's-
I think that's
It's
more
not
than
a
we've
record.
gotten for a few years.
yes.
More than I was
Good
expecting.
turnout.
and
Good
that's good.
turnout. Yep.
Yeah.
Last
Okay.
Arms
We
were
have one
twisted.
last award. One last award that none of you voted on. Our last award is one that's been given since 2010. It's our Lifetime Achievement Award. It goes to a living individual for work in producing, contributing to, and supporting fanzines over an extended period. The recipient is selected by a committee that includes this year Jan Engelmark, Sandra Bond, Claire Briley, Bruce Gillespie, Rob Jackson, Robert Lickman, John Purcell, and Pat Bursey. Previous honorees, and I think this will be the last year that it is really going to be practical to read all these names in alphabetical order: John Bankson, Eleanor Busby, Bruce Gillespie, Earl Kemp, Robert Lickman, Ray Nelson, Paul Skelton, Shelby Vick, Peter Weston, Ted White, and Art Widner. It's almost as good as being named the president of FAAn. But when I share the least fragment of this person's extensive contributions to fanzine, science fiction, and fan culture, you'll know immediately who I am talking about. But let's pretend that we don't. Yes, it's a man. He discovered science fiction at an early age in Wales. How green was his soylent? And found fandom at an Oxford University SF club. His early activities included publishing Drukjes with Kevin Smith and starting a newszine cleverly called Ansible, an anagram, as he has told us many times, for lesbian, and nicked from Le Guin. Drukjes lasted for 2 years, but Ansible continues to this day, having seen just now its 404th issue. It's given us so much, including Hogg's masterclass in bad writing. His Genzing Tuchvi, a Welsh for black hole, was started at the same time as the previously mentioned two, continuing for a longer 7 years. He also has published personal zines, apazines, fan fund promotional zines, and one-offs like the Transatlantic Hearing Aid, a report of his staff trip to North America. He even published daily news updates for an Easter con. But he didn't restrict his writing to his own publications. Our honoree has contributed to many fanzines, blessing them with ironic, witty, sympathetic, and penetrating convention reports, book reviews, travelogues, memoirs, and essays on many miscellaneous topics. Our subject has collected many of these pieces into such books as, most recently, Beachcombing. He has won a remarkable number of Hugo Awards, most of them for his fan writing and for Ansible as best fanzine or semi-prozine. He has also won the Nova Award presented by NovaCon for fanzine production and activity. He has been made a fan guest of honor many times, starting as early as 1977. He maintains an unofficial website for the Transatlantic Fan Fund, which collects materials relating to the fund and which promotes it. He operates Ansible Editions, which produces free ebooks of fan history, including out-of-print fan fund reports, Harry Warner's fan histories, collections from fanzines, and much more. Donations to TAF are encouraged. He also produces both ebook and print editions of material by John Sladek, Algis Budrys, Rob Hansen, and others, which can be bought through Lulu. I should note that this overachiever has also written well-regarded science fiction, horror, and nonfiction. He has written book review columns in a number of magazines, and written and edited hundreds of thousands of words for the encyclopedias of science fiction and fantasy. Before his writing and editing took over his life, he was a nuclear scientist and a computer consultant. David Langford, as I'm sure you've known since I mentioned Oxford and Wales, is the newest recipient of our Lifetime Achievement Award. Congratulations, Dave Langford.
Yeah.
Will someone tell him, please?
Yes. Dave asked me to accept anything that came his way on his behalf. So first off, I'd like to thank members of the Academy, voters, Dave's parents. But yes, this is I'm sure Dave will be delighted by this, and I think well deserved. Thank you.
Very well deserved.
You should just keep it, Rob. He won't notice.
Well, that completes my part. That I'm done. I've given out all the awards. Thank you. Let's do this again next
Thank
year.
you, Jerry.
Hey,
Thank
Jerry,
you,
good
Jerry.
job.
I also
Thanks.
want
Well
to
done,
say
Jerry.
thank you to Harry, for Harry Bell, who is here on the call, for letting us kindly use his a clip out of his Mayor 9 cover for the little cartoon on the top of the awards. I've had an extra award made for him as a thank you. So I'll be posting that, or Harry, if you're there, can you tell me
I
when you
am
want to
here.
post it? Hi.
Yay. Hello,
Hi.
Harry.
I am here, and I will be in Bristol, hopefully.
Excellent. Well,
Assuming Bristol happens.
yes,
Yeah,
hopefully it
let's
will
hope,
Not
mate.
happen.
all locked down again.
Hopefully not.
Hey,
Oh, it's still got the
let's
same
hope not,
fucking
mate.
government.
let's
Yeah,
give
that's right.
Natari a hand as well for keeping track of the awards and the tallying. It seems like he did a really good job this year.
Yes.
Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a quick announcement. I do have the incomplete register from Nick with the results in it, and I've posted a link in the chat.
I've already downloaded it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Spot it. It's there as a PDF download, and the link is in the chat.
Okay. We will look
So
at that
Rob
later.
Jackson, quick note.
Yeah. Hi, Jerry. Yes. Yeah.
Sarah Felix's fan award for the beam cover.
Yeah.
Either Mark Olson or I or someone else coming to Boscone will pick it up in Bristol and then give it to Sarah at Boscone.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
And that's all, you know, if everything falls apart on that, we'll have you post it then.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That'd be excellent. I'll give it to one of the two of you then. Really looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to Bristol anyway. Right, because I wasn't sure which part of the country Sarah lives in. I'm not familiar with her. Well, she's not a name that I've sort of known of until this year, really.
Yeah.
But,
She's from Texas.
she's from Texas,
Yeah.
Yes.
but she'll still be at Boscone then and can receive her.
She's actually the official artist for Boscone next year.
Oh, right, so she will be there.
And she's been doing, you know, as you've seen, you know, there were a couple of different fanzine covers that I nominated her for. One of the Journey Planet covers was also terrific, but the Beam cover I think was better just because it was so thematic. It was just really good.
Yeah, because that's because of course the Beam cover won a few years back when Beam 10, Harry's cover for Beam 10 was also best cover.
Yeah,
Well deserved that too.
Right.
No
Beam
argument.
Beam has a real streak. Hasn't the best cover been on Beam like 3 times now? This is at least the second time they've won.
Yeah, it's the second, but I don't know about the third.
Well,
Look at the
maybe I just
covers.
voted. I know I voted for another Beam cover.
Yeah,
So
that might have been. Did Roy Kettle's photo win? I'm trying to remember.
A note from Claire. She says that Brian Parker won for a Beam cover as well. So that
Oh,
was
that
3.
one,
indeed.
yes.
right.
Oh, yes.
That was
Yeah.
it. Yes. Yeah. Right.
so is this the part where we talk about Corflu this year?
Yes. Thank you very much. I think we've completed the award discussion now. Yes. Thank you very much, and that's been a great presentation, Jerry. And thanks everybody
Thanks, Jerry.
for being here. No, yes, Corflu Concord in Bristol. Yeah, I think we're all hopefully feeling cautiously optimistic about being able to travel. Certainly within the UK, seeing there are so many more people being vaccinated in the UK and the US, I think we stand a better chance of having transatlantic travel with us within a safe corridor, even if other countries are lagging behind. So I'm optimistic. But
I think the problem is going to be international travel. I mean,
Yes.
that will scupper it. If for some reason North America is walled off from us again, then there's probably not a lot of point
the
going ahead
US
with
and
it.
the UK are the two countries that are further ahead than anywhere else in terms of proportion of the population vaccinated. So if we're talking about safe travel from the COVID point of view, I think transatlantic UK-US travel is probably as good a bet as any. Fingers crossed.
Part of the question will be whether they come up with some sort of vaccine passport thingy that is internationally recognized, that all of the governments agree to, and so on and so forth.
Well, that's the point. Will they be able to get their act together?
No, they won't.
No.
Guarantee they
Right.
won't.
Well, on the
Not
good
this
news
side of
side,
November.
economic interest will encourage them to get their act together one way or another.
Let's hope.
Absolutely.
Let's
Well,
hope.
Let's hope so.
The other possible not downfall, but well, whatever the word is whether the airlines increase their fares.
Yeah, pitfall. Well, they might either increase or they might be desperate for custom and decrease the fares. We don't know.
I think they are more likely to decrease.
Yeah.
Working in the airline industry, I think they are more likely to decrease.
Seats.
Yeah, they want
Yep.
bumpers on seats.
Mm.
You know?
Fingers crossed. Yep.
It's like, you remember when there was the big IRA bombing of London, and Americans were not traveling to the UK at all. They dropped the fares enormously just to get Americans coming to the UK. So they want bums on seats.
I hope that's the case. Yep.
My flight was very, very cheap. It was like a third of the price I booked last year to go to Eastercon. So yeah, there was lots of very cheap flights out there.
So Pete, if we travel on British Airways, is there any way we can make sure you're on our flight?
I would love that. I would love a plane full of fans. You know, it would be heaven for me. Yeah.
So Rob,
let me know when you're coming, and I will do my best to get on it.
Okay.
Fingers crossed. Yes.
We could do a one-shot in flight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, do you have any sense of how late you're going to wait to decide on a go no go? You know, sometime this summer, or
as soon as we know that the hotel are taking bookings, I think we will fire the starting gun.
okay.
But I can't see things going backwards. But I think as long as the current UK roadmap towards normality, as long as there are no major hiccups on the road that the government has set out, then I think we're likely to be able to confirm the event from sometime in May or June.
May or June, yeah.
Yep. So I think I think we're there. Just had a message from Kurt, who arrived late. Oh yes, thanks very much. Ulrika just said that he should be able to get the list in TIR on eFanzines. Thank you, Ulrika. Right. Thank you, Sandra, for posting them to the bar as well. Right. Okay. Any more questions about Bristol? Because I just hope we're closer to being able to have a real con in November.
Yeah, let's hope, mate. That's all I can say. Just hope.
Yep. Well, we have to start thinking about things like programs and auctions and all the other things. All the other things that happen in real life. So I'm looking forward to that hugely. Right, now, unless anybody's got anything else to ask about Bristol, I think we may be ready to move on to the official business meeting about 2022, because we have one bidder for next year, which is really good news. And from what I have heard of it so far, I'm definitely planning to be there. But okay, take it away, Ulrika, if you're there.
I am indeed.
Right, yeah.
Hey, everybody. I have put together a short PowerPoint presentation. We'll see how that goes, because as I have rediscovered, I really hate PowerPoint. But let me minimize, actually, let me see about sharing my screen. Nope. Rob, you're going to need to enable screen sharing for me. Otherwise, I will have to
Right,
wing
let
it
me see how I
verbally.
do
Rob,
Share
Rob, the
screen.
easiest thing to do is make Ulrika a co-host as well, and then she should be able to share her
Right, let me
screen.
do that. Let me find Ulrika in the list. For some reason, Ulrika is not has fallen off my participants list. I don't know where you've got to.
That's the very top,
She has,
or the
she
very
has no,
bottom.
she has no surname on her screen, so maybe she's
Just
fallen out.
Ulrika
Yes,
under
got,
you.
yes, fine here. Yes, more. But make co-host. There you are. You're now a co-host as of now.
Okay.
Okay.
Righty, right. Let's try that again. And then share.
Whoa.
And then, well, yeah, that's very exciting. Sorry. How the heck do I do this?
There we go.
Right.
There we go.
It
Okay,
just
that's
went
very
away.
exciting.
Ulrika, you may need to share the specific window that you have the presentation in. Zoom made a
Okay.
change lately, and it'll only let you pick the window instead of all.
All right, let me do some things in my slideshow here. All right, and there is, well, this is not helpful. All right, let me try again. Share screen. There we go. Share.
Yes. It says start
Alrighty.
sharing.
Hooray!
There
Here we are.
Hey. Wow.
And,
Hey.
Good God.
Wow.
And glossed.
and already Andy is disgusted.
Best of all possible Corflus.
In the dark night of my soul, I decided that while I had a few other suggestions, I wanted to go ahead and call it Corflu Pangloss because we're all about the optimism. We don't have a lot of facts, we don't have a lot of guarantees, but we're going to hope that this works out okay.
In the best of all possible worlds.
In the best of, or the one we've got. So I have been sort of pining for a small convention in Vancouver, specifically in the English Bay Area, for a number of years. There was a hotel that I really wanted to use, but my fear now is actually that if everything opens up, it'll be too small in terms of facilities. So we've had to scout around. But let me go ahead. So there are various things we currently don't know. Obviously, we don't know whether we'll be able to go, whether Canada will reopen its borders, whether we can have an in-person convention. We're currently in negotiations, but we don't know whether are going to get an agreement with our hotel, and we don't know what hotels in Seattle will even be operating if we can't use Vancouver. One of our favorite hotels, which attendees at prior conventions in the area may recall, was the Hotel Decca. That has been bought out, and the wonderful consuite space that they had at the top of the hotel has been turned into a bar. So it's off the table. There was another hotel that we used in Renton for the pre-Spokane Worldcon, which is currently being used for COVID-related homeless housing and is no longer a hotel, and we don't know if it will be again. So there's a bunch of stuff we just don't know. On the other hand, as mentioned, vaccinations in the US are actually proceeding very well. We're currently hearing that the US, all adults who want a vaccination should be vaccinated by the end of May. We're hoping that's going to be the correct actual fact.
Manchester's closer to it. Yeah.
Not the Canadians should be catching up on their vaccinations later in the year.
Yeah, well, the Canadians, as I understand it, last I heard, which is a couple of months ago, they already had in hand more doses than they have citizens.
Right.
So it's just a question of they're getting onto it. And the fact that we have a new president in the US might actually be relevant, since I'm hoping this means other countries will be more friendly towards Americans than they might have been, say, 6 or 9 months ago. We have the world's best hotel liaison on board, Suzanne Tompkins, or Suzal, is working with the hotel that we're talking to, and negotiations are in fact looking pretty good. From what we've been seeing right now, English, that should be English Bay.
English Beach.
Yeah, well, there is a beach on the bay, but it is English Bay. The English Bay area is sometimes expensive because it is very proximate to downtown, but right now, presumably because of COVID, hotel rates are looking very good, and our expectation is that we will lock in the rates that we're seeing right now. And we do have a representative on the ground in Vancouver. Garth Spencer has taken that on, so we have somebody who can actually physically go places and see what's open and look at facilities and all of that for us. So we actually think it's quite plausible that we will be able to have a convention in March. And so that's what we're planning on. There are some pictures of the very pretty city of Vancouver. And the area, as mentioned, is called English Bay. Just literally around the corner from the hotel we're talking to is a public house called the Three Brits. And I don't know about you, but I take that as a good sign.
I can see I wanted to go there.
It feeds my optimism. There may be more than 3 Brits in it at a given time if we actually manage to get there.
Not sure I approve of their mixed upper and lower case.
Well, there's always something, isn't there? And the hotel that we're talking to is the Best Western Plus Sands, which is about a block and a half from the water, and about a long block from the Sylvia, which was the hotel that I was flacking in advance of our research. In fact, I'm somewhat hopeful that if there's looking like enough attendance, we may use this Sylvia for overflow or party hotel or hospitality or something like that, because it is a lovely little older hotel. It just doesn't have the facilities to house if we get anywhere close to 100 attendees. Basically, we would have to have a Corflu of 30 people or fewer in order to use the Sylvia. So that is why we've had to give that up. And there is just the corflu.org address for y'all, simply because that is Bill Burns primarily has been kind enough to get all our information uploaded to the website. So if you go there, there should be a link to the information about the bid, and you can find rates and the committee and all of that good stuff there, in case I tell you now and you don't remember. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And I will go ahead and unshare. Well, you're welcome. Thank you. And I'm happy to take questions. There's plenty of information I left out there because, as I say, I really hate PowerPoint, and it was just killing me.
Ulrika, who did you say was the agent? Something Spencer?
Garth Spencer, yeah.
Oh, Garth. Oh, okay. Thank you. And I thought I'll just mention that I'm a longtime Vancouver area fan. I now live in Nanaimo, but I definitely support this bid.
I thank you.
I put a link in the chat to the page for Corflu 39.
Oh, bless your heart, Bill.
Page shortly, but the direct link is in the chat right now.
I was just saying if we were landing in Manchester.
And I see the membership information, which was my main question, is there on their website. So thank you on that.
Yep. In theory, we can take your money starting today. Claire has very kindly stepped up to be our UK agent. So you can, if you want to do a check, you can send it to her. And my beloved is taking care of money at this end. So you can send him money via PayPal or send it to Suzel and Jerry's PO box if you're sending a check.
And just for note, I think you guys know that Ted White is traditionally member number one.
I am aware, and we will certainly make
Hold on to number
that
one.
so.
Yeah, thank you.
Would you prefer PayPal from foreign members, or should we send money in local currency to local people?
If you're using PayPal, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and put it down in the receiving currency, but that's fine.
We could pay PayPal to Claire in sterling, or to Hal in dollars, whichever you like.
Sweet.
Yeah, if you use PayPal in foreign currency, I believe their foreign currency conversion takes a little off the top for themselves.
Yeah,
so.
no, they don't take off the top. They charge the sender more money. So it would probably make more sense to send it to the agent in your country.
I think so. Yeah, I work with that a little bit for Clarion West, and their conversion has become kind of bizarre in a way. So
thank you all.
I noticed that around the corner, just past the three Brits, just looking at the map, there's something called Biryani, Indian bistro and bar. Beer as in B-E-R.
Yeah, if
Sounds
you
good.
browse around the area on Google Maps, you will find a really wide variety of ethnic restaurants of all sorts.
Biryani, is that to do with lager and curry, I assume?
Yes, I'm
Surely not, Rob. Good heavens.
Oh, you think so?
What month of the year?
So there you have it, British fans. Go abroad to exotic Canada to drink lager and eat curry, just like you could here.
It's like home. Great.
You can
what
do so
month
in the
will this
shade
take
of
place?
Did you what? Did you rent
200-foot-tall fir trees. You can leap from tree to tree down the river, the mighty rivers of British Columbia.
But not in Vancouver.
What month is it planned to take place?
We're currently in negotiations for either March 18th through 20th or March 25th through 27th of next year. We don't have a contract, so we don't have firm dates, but those are the ones that the hotel would like, and they seem good to us.
So sometime in March.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And the room rates that we've gotten are pretty well set. Although, again, we don't have a written contract yet, because that's going to be a tricky thing, because it's going to have a heck of a force majeure in order to make sure that if none of us can go or we can't do it. And they're all, the rates will be good for a week around the convention. So if you want to come in a few days early or stay a few days late or do a whole week, at least we've gotten those rates. I believe I'm going to try to get them locked in for that period, whichever weekend we choose.
Lots of interesting stuff to do in Vancouver, as most of you will know. Of course, there's this terrific Museum of Anthropology on the University of British Columbia campus. There's a very good art gallery, museum downtown. There's bus tours every day of Bill Gibson's house. So much more.
Stanley Park.
Yeah, if you're a good walker, Stanley Park is actually within walking distance of the hotel. There's a nice walk along the beach there over to Stanley Park.
All sounds great.
Big park.
Great.
Right now, we plan to do as our special publication an anthology of writing by the winners of the Corflu Lifetime Achievement Award.
Whoa.
So we're going to be asking Dave what would he like us to put in. What would he choose to be representative from a 45-year and counting career?
Goodness knows.
So,
bit of a choice there.
Yeah. So, and we'll definitely we'll make a paper copy for people that are there as one of your perks for attending. So,
thank you.
Great.
Looking forward to that.
Yes.
And I'll say it to embarrass him here, but we're hoping to rope John Berry into helping us with the eventual layout and design of that.
Somehow I thought so.
Do we get to vote on which font he uses?
No,
You
no, we
can vote
want
as much
his
as you like.
judgment.
It won't have any effect.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I vote for Comic Sans.
That's
And
two
Jerry,
votes for
you
Uncle
just
John.
demonstrated why it is that we want John's judgment on that rather than a vote.
Well, if I were doing it myself, it wouldn't be Comic Sans. I'd vote for something else. But as long as John's doing it and he's going to ignore me, that's my reasoning.
Comic Sans black letter.
Okay. Now, remember, when we get off this, everybody go and write a letter of comment to somebody's zine. We want you all to participate.
Fair enough.
Right.
And
I
we're
think
going
if we've got as far- if we've drilled down
presume
to
that
enough detail that we're talking about the font that John's going to use for the special publication, I think I think we've got past the serious point now. So I'm going to stop recording and people can stay on as long as they like and chat.
Oh,
I
wait,
think we
one
have a
more
vote
thing.
by acclamation for Vancouver, right? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we
Yes.
forgot about
Yeah.
that.
Vote by acclamation.
Absolutely.
Do we need to
Absolutely.
propose a
All in
second
favour,
this, or
say
is
aye.
that- Yeah. Aye.
Yeah, aye.
Aye.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you for that, Jerry. I've forgotten about the
Aye.
formalities.
Just a minute, Rob. You
Yes.
just called for it. Since you called for the ayes, you have to call for the nays now.
Are there any nays?
Nay.
Other than
Oh,
the,
always one.
Oh, Larry,
Nays.
so much for our acclamation.
There are nay nays.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
all right.
Right.
Thank you all for your support and confidence. We'll hope to see you all next year in Vancouver.
Well,
Sure enough.
thank
See you
for-
there, Ulrika.
Thank you for the hard work. It's gonna
Thank
be
you
worth
for
it.
taking that on with the uncertainty.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
Randy
That
Dodd.
fool.
Hmm.
Wow. Well, this was very well attended. I think this is many people as would normally come to the fan awards at Corflu.
Yes, I think it hit the top number of 37 at one point,
Yeah.
so we did pretty well.
Andy, there are usually more there because the awards are part of the banquet. So we're
Well,
all
I know
there.
that, dear, but there are also people who are too hungover to come to the banquet. Some of my friends come in looking rather pale about the time that we're choosing the past president of FAAn.
Well, as,
I
Andy, as you
presume-
will attest, Andy, there are more people in this stream at its biggest than there were at the last Fan Awards.
Right.
Oh yeah, well, of course, that was
Well,
the
that's Corflu.
tiny Corflu on the edge of forever.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe people too hungover to come to this Zoom. Who knows?
Last convention of 2020, Corflu. I don't believe there was another convention after Corflu.
Well, it wasn't. No.
No.
Gosh, Rob, I really thought that when Jerry started talking about the Welshman that we were going to give the award to, that you'd finally made good.
Oh, I figured it would probably be Dave. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, well, that's why I went to Oxford right away, so we wouldn't.
No confusion. That's right.
Yeah, my heart leapt and then it sank. It's true.
Thank you, Andy.
So just a point, we're still recording.
Well, yes.
Oh, that's
finish the
all right.
business and then stop the recording.
If you have enough Hugo Awards to sink the Titanic, you have to listen to what people say.
Well, yeah, it's not as if we've all been discussing Dave Langford's sordid little personal filthy habits, is it? Yeah.
No, we can,
No, but we can't.
he's going to get his piece of glass to go with the rest of his Hugo Awards and so on.
Yeah,
Rob,
we-
Rob,
like
you
a
said
bit
quite some
outside of
time ago you
Bristol.
were going to turn off the recording.
But I'm going to turn it off now.
Right then.
Well, yes.
So too late.